Okay, so in the Philippines, there's this really important law. It's designed to be a critical shield for women and children who are facing violence. Today, we're going to break down exactly what this law is all about and, more importantly, how it actually works. And right there, that's the heart of it. That single sentence is the core promise of what's called Republic Act 9262, or as most people know it, the Anti-VAWC Act. And it's so much more than just words on a page. It's the foundation for everything we're about to talk about. Every protection, every penalty, it all comes back to this one idea. But that's the big question, right? How do you take those powerful words and turn them into real practical protection? I mean, a law is only as good as what it can actually do for people. So let's walk through the pathway to safety that this law is designed to create step by step. All right, first things first, to really get the solution, you've got to understand the problem it's trying to solve. The law has a specific name for it, violence against women and their children, which gets shortened to VAWC. So what exactly falls under that umbrella? So the law defines VAWC really, really broadly, and that's on purpose. It covers stuff done by a current partner, an ex-partner, or really anyone a woman has a child with. And this is so important because it's the law officially saying, hey, harm isn't just something you can see. It's not always physical. Okay, so the first type is physical violence. This one's pretty straightforward, right? It's any act that causes bodily or physical harm. We're talking about anything from bruises and cuts all the way to more serious injuries that need medical help. Then you've got sexual violence. And the law here gets very specific. It's not just about assault. It also includes things like sexual harassment, treating someone like a sex object, making degrading comments, or even forcing them to watch obscene material. It's a much wider net than people might think. Now, this next one is psychological violence. This is all about the non-physical stuff that can leave really deep, lasting emotional scars. The law actually calls out specific things like intimidation, stalking, destroying someone's property, or humiliating them in public. It's all about creating an atmosphere of fear and control. And last but definitely not least is economic abuse. And wow, this is such a powerful part of the law. It recognizes that money, well, it can be used as a weapon. This can look like cutting off financial support, stopping someone from getting or keeping a job, or just taking complete control of their money. Okay, so we've laid out the different kinds of violence the law covers. The big question now is, what does the law do about it? How does it provide immediate safety? Well, the main tool in its arsenal is something called a protection order. The easiest way to think about a protection order is like a legal stop sign. It's an official order backed by the police that tells the abuser to stop what they're doing and stay away. The whole point is to create safety right now and help the victim start to get some control back. And what these orders can do is actually pretty amazing. They're not just a piece of paper. A protection order can legally force the abuser to leave the house. It doesn't even matter who owns it. It can order them to stay a certain distance away, it can give temporary custody of the kids to the victim, and it can even order the abuser to keep providing financial support. It covers a lot of ground. So you might be wondering, how do you actually get one of these? The good news is the process is laid out pretty clearly. And maybe the most important part is that the law makes sure a victim never has to do this all on their own. Let's see how that works. This is where you can really see that support network in action. It's not just up to the victim to file for the order. Their parents can do it, relatives, social workers, even police officers or barangay officials. Get this, even two concerned citizens who know what's going on can file on the victim's behalf. It really opens the door for people to help. And there are different levels of protection, which makes a lot of sense. It's all about getting both immediate help and long-term safety. It all starts right there in the community with a barangay protection order, or a BPO. The local barangay captain can issue one on the spot, and it lasts for 15 days. For something with more teeth, you can go to court for a temporary protection order, a TPO, and then finally, a permanent protection order, or PPO. So you see how this process is staged? It's designed to be fast and effective. You can get that immediate protection from your local barangay, which creates a safety net right away. And that buys crucial time while the case moves through the court system toward a more permanent solution. Now, this is so important. The law isn't just about the victim and the abuser. It actually puts the responsibility on the whole community, especially officials. It gives them a legal duty to step up and help out. And let's be clear, these aren't just friendly suggestions. They are legal requirements. Barangay officials and the police must respond immediately when someone calls for help. They have the power to go into the house to make sure everyone's safe, take away any weapons, and they can even arrest the person responsible right then and there, without a warrant, if the violence is happening or just happened. Okay, let's move on to what happens next. We're talking about justice and the path to recovery. The law is really smart about this. It tackles two things at once: holding the abuser accountable and giving the survivor what they need to start over. And you can really see the two sides of that coin here. For the abuser, there are serious consequences: jail time, big fines, and they have to go to mandatory psychological counseling. But for the survivor, the law provides support, things like getting custody of their children and receiving financial support to help them get back on their feet. The law also has this incredibly practical, super helpful provision for survivors. And it all boils down to one simple number: 10. What's 10? It's 10 days of paid leave from work. Think about how huge that is. It means a survivor doesn't have to make that impossible choice between going to court and getting a paycheck. They can take the time they need for legal stuff or medical appointments without worrying about losing their income. It's a game changer. And of course, through this whole incredibly difficult process, a person's privacy is protected by law. All the records connected to the case are kept completely confidential. That means no names, no details can be published unless the survivor says it's okay. So when you step back and look at it, this law is a really powerful tool. It's a whole framework for protection and for justice. But here's the thing about tools: they're only powerful if people know how to use them. The law's real strength comes alive when we as a community know about it, talk about it, and make sure it's being used to help the people who need it most. The pathway to safety is there, but it's up to all of us to keep it lit.